Yay, I did it right. Perfect. Okay. So I'm going to actually go ahead and share my screen. Okay. So again, welcome. Here's a brief overview of this morning's agenda. I do not believe Mary has is the president come on yet? I can't.
Yes, President Lemire is with us.
I'm sorry, there's so many of you, I can't see you all. Good morning. So we have a very special guest with us this morning. Our president, Dr. Linda Lemire, became Le Moyne's 14th president on July 1st of 2014. She is the first female layperson to be assigned to the presidency of any Jesuit institute in the United States, and we are honored that she is our leader. So I'd like to turn it over to President Lemire. And I'll on.
Well, good morning, everyone. Good morning. Can I see a wave? All right, I get to see people in this Hollywood Squares. I love this, that you allow me to see your beautiful faces in all your gorgeous diversity and complexity. Welcome. My job is to welcome you this morning, and that's probably the best job on planet Earth, in part because I love students and I love Le Moyne, and I love the fact that you want to be a part of the Le Moyne family, the Dolphin family. Karen, I want to thank you for that lovely introduction, but I have a confession to make. The honor is all mine. I can't tell you how much I miss seeing students. If I could right now, I would do this, you know, just imagine a nice big virtual embrace, right? Can I at least get a high five from all of you? Can I get that? Oh, thank you. I appreciate it. It's a beautiful gesture. It's something in the midst of a pandemic, but I'll take it. So let me tell you a little bit about myself and why I love Le Moyne and why I'm so happy that you're going to be joining us or contemplating joining us. Le Moyne is an incredible place in that students never get lost at Le Moyne. And the faculty view every engagement and encounter with students as something that is unique and treasured and even sacred. We pride ourselves on your success. We pride ourselves on your success. If you don't do well, we're not happy about it. Not only for you, but for us. And we want to make sure that we do everything in our power to make your transition, right, from a student to a scholar, and that you all feel valued and welcomed every single day, even during a global pandemic. Now, as you make this transition to Le Moyne, there's a couple of things I want to share with you from my own personal experience. And I recognize to my colleagues, please don't get nervous that I'm going to go on too long. I promise you, I've heard the guidelines and I'm going to try to stick to them. Do you all see what's behind me over my left shoulder? Can you see what it is? Can you? You're nodding yes. All right. It's a piano. This piano is something my husband and I bought for our daughter, Emily, when she was 5 years old. She watched somebody play piano and she fell in love with the instrument. And we decided as a family to make a commitment to the instrument. I didn't really know what I was in for when we were doing that. This piano is probably more valuable than any of our cars. So when I say commitment, I mean it in the truest sense of the word. When we bought it, people said to us, "You're crazy. What are you ever going to do with a piano lessons? What is the point? All these lessons, it's too expensive. It's not worth it," and on and on and on. Well, long story short, between 5 years of age and about 15, the early teen years, my daughter was an extraordinary pianist. Won competitions, won awards. She was great. But then between that age and going to college, things happen, right? interests wane and the like, and maybe you don't see the relevance of it, but she still played until her college years. She goes to college, she graduates, she went to a Jesuit school because that's the only kind of institution I would ever send one of my children, like Lemoyne. And after college, she gets a job. She was an English and a political science major in a Jesuit institution that has a core curriculum in addition to the majors. And she ends up getting a job as an English and political science major doing marketing for a world-class business in the construction field using environmentally sustainable products. So one day Emily comes home and she says, we have some guests over to our home. You're with me in my home this morning. And guest said, Emily, so tell us, did your parents waste thousands of dollars on this piano and on the lessons over the course of your youth? What is it a waste of time and waste of money? And she said, well, when I was going through it and torturing my parents about why do I have to do this, I didn't think so. But now that I've learned how to read music, which is essentially another language, I've actually become better at math because I learned to play piano. I see patterns, disparate patterns that have helped me analyze data for my employer in ways that I never imagined when I was studying the piano. What's the point? What you may think is relevant or irrelevant today, in 2021, don't underestimate the value and the power of a broad-based education and how it will impact you as our economy and our world continue to change. Here's the advice that my young daughter got: an English major and studying the piano. You'll never get a job. You are mature transfer students. You know you have clear goals. We get it. That's the point of all this. We will give you a broad-based education that won't just help you with that first significant job, but the next one, and the next one, and the next one. Because what we teach you, while it may not be obvious at the moment, is always relevant, always fresh, and always can be applied in multiple patterns in multiple disciplines. You are in remarkably good hands, young scholars. You're not students anymore. You're a scholar in the Jesuit tradition. One last thing about our community. If there's ever been a test of the strength of the Lemoyne community, we're known for how we treat one another with respect and kindness. That's part of our mission. This past year, we were the only college in Central New York that did not have to go to remote learning, fully remote learning. We're it. None of our neighbors were able to pull it off. And why did we pull it off? Because we care about each other, even when we disagree. All of you in this Hollywood Squares this morning, you're all different. You're all bringing rich experiences to our campus. Thank God. And also, thank God, please don't all of you agree on everything. I think I can count on that. That's the worst kind of education, where everybody thinks and talks and looks the same way. Not at Lemoyne. So I welcome you. I can't wait to high five you with, give me one more. Give me one more. Come on. I just want to see that you're paying attention. I'm going to high five you in person in the days ahead. I look forward to welcoming you in person, and have an amazing day. Ask lots of questions, because you have colleagues that want to help you navigate a successful transition. I thank you for your attention, and I hope you have an awesome day. Any questions after this? You let us know. Okay? Thumbs up. Okay? All right. Ciao. Have a great day. Take care. Thank you, Karen. Thank you, Kathy. Thank you, Jen. Thank you, everybody. Mary Shad, thank you. Thank you. I miss you guys. I miss you guys. Ciao.
Thank you.
You too. Thank you.
My pleasure.
Oh, that was wonderful. Oh, I don't know how we're gonna compare to that, but that was fabulous. Brings a great smile to my face.
Sweet.
Before we start, there are a couple faces on the screen, couple of our administrators from the college that aren't presenting today. So I wanted just to reach out to them and acknowledge them if they wanted to kind of jump in and give a kind of a description on who they are and where they work. First, I want to thank my supervisor, and my co-host for this morning, Mary Shad. Hi, Mary. Good morning. Oh, she must be frozen. Okay, she's a little frozen. Okay.
Oh, yep. Awesome. Okay. You're good. We lost you, but I was giving my intro, so perfect. Success Center. I am so excited that you are with us and that you have chosen to start here at Lemoyne this spring. So personally, I'm a Lemoyne alumna. I did my bachelor's and my master's at Lemoyne, and I was a transfer student myself. So I really relate to this population, and I am so grateful that you're with us. So I will be chatting with you throughout the morning. So I will be here and just hanging out. So we look forward to continuing to connect today and next weekend.
Thanks, Mary. And I think we have Jennifer Reddy here with us too.
Hi, thanks, Karen. Hi, everybody. So good to be here. So good to see you all. I'm Jennifer Reddy. I work in continuing education. So I work with our non-traditional population, but I also coordinate services for veterans and military families. So any questions that you may have relating to benefits or any of our continuing education population, maybe non-matriculated students who are working on post-bac pre-health prerequisites for med school, dentistry school, whatever, or any of our students who are non-matriculated and just want to take a refresher course or want to have a little something to do to keep the brain moving and during the pandemic. I'm here for you. And if you have questions, I'll actually be monitoring the chat. So I'll try and respond to everything. I don't know I'll have all the answers, but certainly I can speak to anything in my area. Thank you.
Thanks, Jen. So when I'll follow up after this session with the contact information in the offices for each of our folks here today, so you'll have it as a handy reference. But again, I encourage you, if you have questions throughout the time, raise your hand, throw them into the chat, unmute yourself. You know, we welcome questions. This is a day of conversation. Okay, so let's go back to our Alrighty. Okay. So most of you, if not all of you, are very familiar with our first presenter. She is your first face, always smiling, always encouraging. Welcome to Lemoyne. So I'd like to welcome Kathy Anderson.
Thanks, Karen. And thank you to Dr. Lemura for joining us this morning. That was absolutely fantastic. I think you guys will learn that this is one of the unique things I think about Lemoyne is that our president is so directly connected with all of our students. And it's definitely unique and a privilege to have that at Lemoyne. I'm not going to do a lot of presenting. I always love the opportunity just to say hello to all of you and thank you for the privilege of being able to work with you through this process. I know, unfortunately, in this past year, hard to meet in person, but I know I had the pleasure of meeting with many of you via Zoom and over the phone, and you've been bombarded with messages from me in the transfer admission office. As well as obviously my colleague Scott, who has worked closely with some of you. So again, we just want to, on behalf of enrollment management and the admission office, welcome you to Lemoyne. We're so excited to have you joining us this spring. I think it's important to note that, you know, it may not look like it on this Zoom. There's a great number of you here, but you guys represent transfer students in general, represent about a quarter of our new students each academic year between the fall and spring semesters. So you are by no means alone in the transition you're going through. So you have a lot of resources with each other, as well as those of us at the college as you continue your transition this spring. And know that those of us here in admission are always available for you. I know sometimes it feels like, You know, once you're here at this point, you're kind of done with us, but know that we continue to be a resource for you. If you're not sure who to go to about something, reach out. If I don't have the answer, if Scott doesn't have the answer, we certainly can direct you to the folks that do and make that direct connection for you. So, you know, and again, don't hesitate. We are very much available. The couple things that I do want to mention, some kind of housekeeping sort of things related to making this as smooth as possible as you start classes in just a couple of weeks. If you have not yet submitted your final transcripts, if you had coursework in progress this past fall and you had a condition on your admission of completing those successfully, if we have not gotten the final transcript, those credits have not officially been applied to your transfer credit evaluation. So be sure you get those to us so that you get all the credits you're supposed to be getting. If you had coursework, college coursework that you took during high school, or AP credits that you earned during high school that weren't required for you to submit those through the admission process, we want to make sure you get credit for those. So if you have not submitted those, please make sure you do that as soon as possible. You have those official documents sent to the admission office. The easiest way, if they're sending them electronically, is just at admission@lemoyne.edu, which is where you should have already sent some things, so you should have that email, but I'll be sure to put it in the chat box as well so you have easy reference to that. The last thing is, you know, make sure if you have not done so, and I'm assuming most of you have, but definitely look over your credit evaluation closely. Make sure you don't have questions about that. If you do, reach out to me. Again, reach out as soon as possible, because if there are things that we missed or something that should be in a different spot, you know, as much as we work to give you as many credits as possible and apply them as best as we can to where they're going to benefit you the most. I am not infallible. There sometimes can be an error. So I want to make sure you look at those. And if you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out to me, because we want to make sure we update that to benefit you where possible. So those are my couple little housekeeping things just to make sure that you follow through on those. But again, reach out anytime. Again, I'll put the general admission email for those transcripts in the chat box. And I'll also put my email in the chat box for easy reference for you so that you can reach out to me if need be. And again, welcome. We're excited to have you join us. And I look forward to the time that I can actually see you in person on campus. So thanks, Karen.
Thanks, Kathy. Does anyone have any questions for Kathy at this time?
I just wanted to jump in and also just make mention that we do have some other students with us this morning as well. So while we do have our transfer students and you will make up a great majority of this group, we also have some incoming first-year students and continuing education students that are able to join us. So we are grateful that you all are here with us as well. And we will continue on with the session.
Thanks, Mary. So throughout the today's presentation and next week's, we're going to throw in kind of a couple little tidbits, kind of information that is important, that many of you hopefully already know about, but it's good to go over again. I guess I'd like a show of hands or the hand feature in, excuse me, the reaction. How many of you have already set up your Lemoyne email account and have been using and you know, responding and receiving messages from? Most of you? Okay. Okay. So that's good. Okay. So so our Lemoyne email account is the only and primary way that anyone from our community will be in contact with you. So we'll no longer be using your personal Gmail account or any of that. All of your faculty and your instructors and all of the offices will be using only your Lemoyne email account. So if you don't have that set up, please do so as soon as possible. A little further into this morning's, or actually following me is some representatives from information technology. So more than likely they'll review a little bit of this in their presentation. But that Lemoyne email account is so important. It has so much information that comes to you daily. There's a daily digest that comes every morning that talks about activities on campus and important announcements that are sent out regularly, both related to the campus community and the local Syracuse community. Some other important resources you should be familiar with or begin to become familiar with is FinFo, where your courses are located. That is where you can find grades in your courses. That is where you, moving forward, will register for future classes. Canvas is our platform for the actual classes that you're taking, where you submit assignments and all of that type of stuff. So if you have any questions on any of these after this presentation, let us know and we'll hook you up with some resources on it. Okay, next up is my friend Kelly from Financial Aid.
Thanks, Karen. My name is Kelly Kelly. Yes, it's not a misprint. It is by marriage. So maiden name was Henry. I'm the assistant director here in the financial aid office. We are located in Gruen Hall. We are going to touch base on requirements for the financial aid here at Lemoyne. With this group that we're in right now, it's a little bit of diverse of transfers and maybe first year. So each student might be in a little different spot or phase of the financial aid process. But what we're going to kind of do is go through a quick checklist of the basic fundamental items that need to be done for the financial aid process. And we always ask that you can touch base with us individually, or if you want to ask questions after regarding any of this. So first and foremost, which I'm sure all of you are aware, have done in the past, we need to have that FAFSA on file. And as transfer students, I'm sure you had a good time completing that. The one thing you want to make sure is that you have the correct school code. So if you were at another institution in the fall semester, you want to make sure that you now have Lemoyne school code on that. So the FAFSA was getting sent directly to us. Since you guys are starting in the spring semester, you also want to make sure that you're doing the 2020-2021 FAFSA. You want to make sure that's what's sent to us and that's what we have on file. Out there, they have this academic year and next year's FAFSA available. So sometimes people have already called and asked, do you have our FAFSA? Yes, we do, but we have next year. So unfortunately, you would have to go back and complete this year's. But again, you can always give us a call and we can check that to see if it's on file. If you have done it, and we do have it, then you should have already received our financial aid award package. And that has been sent to you in two ways. One, we sent a hard copy in the mail to you. And two, as Karen talked about, we have sent electronic form email to you. It originally would have gone to the email initially on file, but now that you are in the system, it's going to go all to your Lemoyne email address. So you have two copies of that. The award letter is going to include any merit scholarship from admissions. It's going to include any federal, state, and institutional funding. When you do get that email, though, for the electronic copy, it's going to give you a username and a temporary password. And this is going to help you to log into your FinFo account, which I think Karen touched base on, or you guys should be somewhat familiar with the FinFo, or you'll get used to that. That's going to be where you're also not only able to view financial aid, but your bills, all sorts of resources for that. So you want to make sure that you change that password, update that, and keep that information handy. After reviewing your award letter, you're going to then ask to be, again, going onto your FinFo account, and you're going to want to accept or decline your financial aid. And that's kind of gets tricky because people are like, well, what do we accept or what do we decline? As far as your grants and scholarships, no action needs to be taken. Those are automatically accepted. If you've been awarded TAP, which is from HES, the Tuition Assistance Program, you don't need to accept that. However, you want to make sure that you've actually completed that TAP application. That is a separate application than the FAFSA. So if you may have had it at your previous school, again, you want to check to make sure that the application's going to our school with the correct school code. And then that way the state can certify it and get it sent to us. The one item on your financial aid award letter that you'll want to think about accepting or declining are your federal loans. And those will be listed. And those are also, as Kathy mentioned earlier, getting notification to her as far as your credits transferring in, because that also determines your eligibility of your federal loan allotment, depending on what grade level you're in. So that's something that you're going to want to take a look at, and again, accept or decline those. If you've accept those and you haven't borrowed them in the past, FinFo is going to direct you to 2 requirements that you need to do. And I'm probably overloading you with so much information right now, but again, I'm just trying to give you kind of a checklist, and we can always talk individually about this. But the 2 requirements are going to be a master promissory note and an entrance counseling for these loans. Once you do them, they're good for 10 years and you don't have to do them again. If you decide not to take out the loans, nothing else has to be done. Once you've done all of that, it then goes to the bursar's office, and they're going to post your aid onto your account, and you'll be able to see this on FinFo. And your financial aid is going to go against all of your charges, your tuition, your mandatory fees, room and board, if you are living on campus. As with the award letter, it's going to show you if there's any balance remaining on your account that's due after the financial aid has been processed. And with that, that's something then right now you kind of want to be thinking about as far as how are you going to cover that. And those options include, you can do a payment plan with the bursar's office. They have full information on their website and how that's broken down. There's also parent loans, if you're a dependent student, and private loans. And we have on our webpage a clear area of the different types of loans and the different type of lenders that you can use to help apply for assisting with payment. So if that's something that you definitely want to start to work on now. Normally everything we want to get in place before the semester begins. Obviously with everything going on, you know, we are here to work with you. And if things are a little bit delayed, as long as you're keeping in contact with us and working with us, we're definitely here to help you with that. Again, as Karen stated, our communication to you is going to be done primarily through email and phone calls. We'll get a hold of you somehow. You know, pre-COVID, we always loved having each of you come into our office because we really want to sit down with you as transfer students or first year students coming into us, not only to get to know you as a person, because we enjoy that, but so that you get an understanding of your financial aid, where you're at, if you're taking loans out, how much you have, what's going to be going down the road. And obviously we're kind of missing that a little bit during this time, but we're still here for you. We're here for you via Zoom we can do. We're here for you with a phone call. We're here for you with an email. So if we have questions now, I'd be happy to answer them, but I really would ask if you guys just individually to give us a call, connect with me, connect with one of my coworkers, and we can go through your financial aid process just to make sure that we have everything in line for you, that you are comfortable with it. You know, your education is important and your grades are important, but for me being on the financial aid side, so is your financial. And I want to make sure that when you leave here, you have a clear understanding of everything on your account. So again, sorry for the overload. Are there any questions?
I have a question.
Yeah.
What's your email?
Yes. So it's Henry. My personal one is Henry, HENRYKE @lemoyne.edu. You could do it to me, and I'll also give you our general one. It's financialaid@lemoyne.edu. But please, yep. Oh, thanks, Kathy. Be happy to assist you. Just, you know, let me know that we chatted today, and I consider myself like the checklist lady. Let's make sure everything's squared away, and we'll let you know where you are in the process.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
I have a question.
Sure.
Sorry, multitasking with my toddler. You said that we fill out the FAFSA for the 2020-2021 year?
Yes.
Okay, thanks.
Yes, you're welcome.
I've got a question.
Yes.
I had contacted the bookstore about, because I was using financial aid to pay for books.
Mhm.
Is that, they said that it wasn't released yet. Is that an individual thing that I should talk to you about, or is that everyone across the board?
It's we can talk. It depends on if you're using financial aid. It's a notification by the bursar's office. They'll let the it's based upon a refund. They'll let the bookstore know that there's a refund coming to assist with books. So you'll get notification on that. But we can always take an in-depth look at your account. Drop me an email. Thanks, Jen. Anybody
I
else?
love questions. Keep them coming.
Bring them on. Bring them on. Or I know it's a touchy subject too, so feel free to email me directly. I completely understand.
Beautiful. Kelly, thank you for that information.
Yeah.
It's
Thank you. You're
very,
welcome.
very valuable.
I look forward to chatting with everyone. Take care.
Okay. So I'm going to ask Mary if she would speak about our tip number 2 of the day, getting involved.
Wonderful. Thanks, Karen. Yeah, so I think that no matter if you're coming to us as a transfer student, if you're one of our new first year continuing education students, it is really important, especially given our current environment in the middle of a pandemic still. And it's crazy to think that a year later, but we want to make sure that you are forming connections and getting involved on campus. And while we know that that might look different right now, so things might be virtual, there might be limited attendance at some events, or there might be club meetings that you are able to have in person, there might not be, but there are so many ways for you to still get involved no matter what. We have nearly 100 student organizations on campus, so these are just some of the areas that we focus on. Multicultural, we have games, club sports, recreation, service and social action, campus life, academic societies, art and literature, honor societies, the list goes on and on. So if there is something that you're interested in, there are so many opportunities for you to make those connections and get to know folks via all of our clubs and organizations. If there's something that you don't see listed, we can help make that happen too. So we really do want to make sure that this experience is one where you're forming those important connections, you're meeting your peers, you're feeling that affinity for Lemoyne and for our campus. And like I said, while that might look a little different this semester, in your future semesters, we'll be hopeful that we'll be able to have that vibrant campus community back physically in person.
That's great, Mary. Thank you. Next Saturday, a representative from Campus Life and Leadership will be speaking to you. And she'll cover some of the clubs and organizations a little bit more in detail. She'll hopefully announce the date for the spring club fair and all of that type of stuff. So stand by for some more information on that. Okay. So next up is our 2 service desk coordinators from a very important office that I use all of the time, located right in the middle of the library, our Office of Information Technology.
Hello, everyone. Good morning. It's nice to see everyone, and welcome to the Lemoyne community. Like I said before, or like Karen said before, my name is Clemente. I'm the service desk coordinator, and with me I have Louise, who is my coworker, fellow service desk coordinator. And really what we're going to do is instead of showing you a presentation where you bring a slide, we're just going to show you exactly where you can find all this information that we're about to tell you. So Karen, can we actually go ahead and share our screen by any chance?
You should be able to. You should be able to stop mine and start yours. If not.
Yeah, maybe Karen, if you just press stop on your end, then
yeah, I think so.
Perfect.
There you go.
All right. Louise, go ahead and share our website, please. Wonderful. All right. So this is where you're going to be able to find all the information that we are about to tell you. This is our Keep Studying online page. If you go into Google, Keep Studying Lemoyne, bang, it's right there. It'll pop up. And this has all the information, like I said. But first, let's go ahead and let you know about our contact information. We are located in the library, right in the service desk, and that's going to be in the back of the first floor. At the moment, we are indeed virtual. So the best way to find us, best way to contact us is going to be servicedesk@lemoyne.edu. Or you could just go to servicedesk.lemoyne.edu. That's going to be the fastest way to get help from us that there exists. So we also have our phone number, which at the moment just rolls over to voicemail, which then goes into our email. So you're basically just sending us an email in voice format. That works too. Typically when we are open, we follow the same hours as the library, relatively. So when we are open, that's where you can find us, and our hours will be posted on our website. But now we're going to go ahead and get into the information. Like I said, first, what we like to do is just make sure that you guys have all the correct technology information. And I'm going to let Louise take that.
Hello guys, welcome to Lemoyne. If you guys do decide to come here, I am a recent grad from Lemoyne College, so I just finished last semester, and I am starting now as a full-time employee here at Lemoyne. Some things that you guys should know before coming to Lemoyne, or before getting started. Here in this website, you'll find a lot of information that you need to set, like debating whether about your technology. Here's like what kind of internet you'll need, but you'll be on campus most of the time, so you probably don't have to worry about that. If you're debating what kind of computer you should get, well, here are some tips or suggestions that you can pretty much debate on to your parents or as well. Here are some like other stuff about what kind of operating systems, as well as security updates and that kind of stuff. Some key points that you should know. First, we are a Chrome-based education, I guess, department. So pretty much we suggest that you use Chrome and stuff like that, keep it up to date, enable your two-factor authentication from your phone. So like that, you'll have access to resetting your password and stuff like that when you need to. Anything else, Clemente?
I think that's good, but yeah, this is where you can find all your computer specifications in case you were wondering if your laptop is going to be good to go for making sure that you have everything you need to get your academic education going for you. So the next thing that we're going to kind of go into is the Wi-Fi on campus, actually. Wi-Fi on campus is going to be our EduRoam, and through EduRoam, it is going to be an international Wi-Fi software where, for example, a bunch of other colleges can also use EduRoam. So let's say, for example, you are visiting a friend at Syracuse University. As long as you have your Lemoyne credentials already signed into EduRoam, you can take advantage of their EduRoam as well. And then as far as your Wi-Fi at home, we do have some information on this website. 10 megabytes per second is going to be the speed that you generally want. So if you have any questions regarding that, servicedesk@lemoyne.edu is where you could find that. And to sign into EduRoam, you just need your Lemoyne email and password. Secondly is going to be reset my password. This is where you're going to get access to your Lemoyne accounts. It's literally resetmypassword.lemoyne.edu. If you have not visited yet, I would strongly recommend doing so. And just make sure that you have two-factor authentication enabled. We'll have more information on that in a little bit, but if you have any questions, servicedesk@lemoyne.edu. Your password, also to know, your password resets every 130 days. So just keep that in mind. Then secondly, we're on Zoom right now, so I'm assuming all of you guys know that a lot of our communication at Lemoyne is through Zoom. When signing into Zoom, lemoyne.zoom.us. And in there, click on Sign In with Google, and then put in your Lemoyne credentials, and you'll have a free, totally licensed account that is available to all members of the Lemoyne community. So if you have any questions regarding that, you can always shoot us an email and we can respond as soon as we can. Then continuing on, your lifeline for online learning is going to be canvas.lemoyne.edu. If you have not signed into that yet, taking a look. I would strongly recommend doing so. Canvas is where you're going to find your due dates, your assignments, where you can submit your quizzes, your essays for your teachers. If you take a look at your Canvas and you see some things might not be correct with your class, go ahead and contact your professor, or you can go ahead, like I said, shoot us an email. And secondly, another lifeline that is going to have all this information and more is going to be the student orientation and resources course, in which everyone is already enrolled in. That breaks down everything you need to know about Lemoyne for your education, or for anything regarding our department in education. As soon as you log into Canvas, it'll already be there. Just go into your courses tab and you'll find it there. A lot of good, helpful information there. And then, as we mentioned before, we are a Google school. So with that, you guys get access to the Google Suite for educators, or for education rather. And this includes the Drive, Google Docs, Google Sheets, Google Slides, Google Chat, but also a lot of other good features. Google Drive is going to be very important for storing all your education, for any needs, whether it's an essay or notes or whatever it is. You have all that storage in the Google Drive available to you, so please take advantage of that as well. And one thing that we like to mention is that through your Lemoyne account, your email account, if you have an active Lemoyne account, you get access to Microsoft 365 as well on your computer. So take advantage of that. Literally just type in Microsoft for Education or Microsoft for Students in Google, type in your Lemoyne email, and there you go. You got all that access. Finally, if you guys have any further questions, comments, concerns, like I said, find the go to our website, servicedesk.lemoyne.edu. And even if you're not 100% sure what your problem is, or if you have any questions, or if we might even be able to help you, we can most likely send you into the right direction, hopefully. Louise, am I missing anything?
Nope, that's all.
Great. All right. Let me double check, make sure I'm not missing anything. So last thing I want to mention, if you do have some concerns that maybe your Wi-Fi isn't up to par, maybe your computer isn't up to par, maybe you have a desktop that you work off that you'd like a webcam to use, so you can actively participate in Zoom meetings such as this, we can go ahead. We're going to direct you into the direction of the Jesuit Fund. The Jesuit Fund can address those concerns and try to find the best solution in order to make sure that you guys have all the technology needs that you guys have in order to do well in your education, and make sure that that isn't impeding you in any way, shape, or form. I'm sure we can go ahead and answer any questions you have regarding that, or at least point you, like I said, point you in the direction of someone who can answer those questions. That's what we're trying to do, and that's what we're always trying to make sure that you guys have everything you need to succeed. So like I said before, service desk at lemoyne.edu, servicedesk.lemoyne.edu, find us there. We're in the back of the library. We're always willing to help with any questions you might have. Louise, any finishing thoughts?
Nope, that's all.
Wonderful. And I think that'll do it for us. Like I said before, welcome. We're glad to have you. Louise and I are both graduates, and recent graduates. So we definitely know some of the ins and outs of this place, and we hope that you guys have a great time as we did.
Thanks, gentlemen. That was invaluable. Does anyone have any questions on any of it? I know it was a lot of information. We'll make sure we get all these links and connections over to you, so you can go ahead and at your leisure take the time, and then you can reach out directly to the IT service desk for any clarification. Okay. So Luis, perfect. You read my mind. Sorry, guys. Sorry, as you can see, I need some IT help as well. Okay. So our third and final tip of this session is regarding classes. So obviously we have the typical fall and spring semester. As you've all received notice, our spring semester will begin on February 8th. But I wanted to let you know about a couple of other opportunities for you in the future to continue to take classes leading up to fulfilling your graduation requirements. Each year we offer a J-Master, which obviously runs during January, and a May-Master, which runs through May. There are also 3 summer sessions that run, summer 1, 2, and 3. Some are shorter version sessions, 6 weeks, 8 weeks, and some run through the entire length of the summer. So many of the students, ask, why would I take additional classes during May or January or the summer? And these are great options. So sometimes the student will want to get ahead or catch up on a class or two. They may even find a class that's of real interest to them and they just want to explore that new topic. So that's why that they are offered, but are not mandatory. I want you to keep in mind that most students are able to complete their coursework during the traditional fall and spring semester. So it's not a requirement that you take these classes, but like I said, it's a nice option that we offer should you have an interest in it. Anybody have any
Karen,
questions?
Can I actually mention something?
Please.
So this year, there is not a May master. Usually between the end of spring and then the summer sessions 1, 2, and 3, there is a May master, which is very abbreviated. Because of the late start, they're apparently making things even more confusing this year. And now we have a June master. So May master and the first summer session are going to be combined this year.
Thanks for the clarification, Jen. I forgot about that. It changes so quickly. Alrighty. Okay. So Mary, do you want to?
Absolutely. Yeah. So if you want to stop sharing the screen, and then Kelly, do you think that, so right now it says you're the host, so I want to get to breakout rooms. So can you see if you can transfer the host to me? Because I think
Yes. How do I get that?
so I think if you go by your name.
Oh. Sorry, guys.
No, you're fine. Because normally I can like request to be the host, but then I don't.
I didn't even know I was the host.
I think it's just who logs in first gets the host.
Oh, well, that's a lesson learned. I'm not logging in first next time.
If you can't, that's fine. We can.
What if I just leave and then come back?
Well, I think if you leave because you're the host, it will cancel the.
We don't want to do that.
No, so that's okay. We don't need to do. Can you see the breakout room function at the bottom of your screen?
I can.
Okay. All right. So then I am giving you an assignment, Kelly. So what we are going to do,
okay,
just for a quick 5 minutes, is have everyone go into breakout rooms. So what we wanted to also do during this session is provide you with an opportunity to meet one another, because I think that is so important, especially since we have a large group with us today. So what we're going to do is we'll just split you into breakout rooms. I think there's about 40 or so students. So maybe if we do, oh gosh, I don't know, maybe 5 breakout rooms, 5 or 6.
Okay.
And when we do it, Kelly, we can just put them in automatically.
Okay.
So what will happen in just a second is we will assign you to a random breakout room. You are going to be with about 7 or 8 other of your new colleagues / classmates, peers at Lemoyne. And I'd just like you to go ahead and if you can just introduce yourself, if you can say if you're a transfer student, a first year student, continuing education student, and if you've studied anywhere else, and then something you're excited about when you come to Lemoyne. So if you can just go through that as your group, we'll give you about 5 minutes to do that, then we'll bring you all back and we will continue on with our session. So in a second, you're gonna get a notification that says join breakout room. Just click on that and then we will come back.
Okay. And you said Mary sign automatically, correct?
Yes. Yep.
Okay. Here we go, guys.
All right.
Open all rooms.
Perfect. And hit later.
Oh boy. Guess we have to be careful what we say to each other, right? If it's being recorded. Hi, everybody. Good morning. I like these little breakout rooms. It's kind of nice to be small for a change. You know, I guess I'll start just a little bit quickly about myself. I have been at Lemoyne for almost 6 years, always with the Student Success Center. I took over the role of transfer student coordinator last March, actually a week before the pandemic hit. So this has been quite a learning process for me as well. I have a background in education. I earned my master's in professional education from Lemoyne last May. As far as what I love about Lemoyne, I hope has been witnessed this morning. Our president being available and adjusting her schedule to be able to come on and speak to us. Her level of enthusiasm and passion and drive was evident in her voice today, and she was actually very calm. I wait and look forward to you seeing her on campus. Well, she'll just kind of run up to you and engage in conversation and high fives and all of that stuff. But her message is the message that I know you will find across campus. So I'm going to stop talking and I'm going to let you guys go ahead and take over. If whoever wants to start, you know, please feel free.
Hi, I'm Ethan. I'm transferring from OCC. Or for those of you that don't know what that is, it's Onondaga Community College. And I'm going to Lemoyne for nursing. I'm going through the 3-year program with Krause, and I'm just excited to be at a new campus and see what the school has to offer.
I'll go next. My name's Jen. I am a transfer student. I actually went to Krause for nursing and decided that that's not what I wanted to do, and I wanted to do teaching. And I'm just excited to start like something different other than nursing, and yeah.
Well, look at that. There's already a connection between the two of you. Fabulous. Who wants to go next?
My name's Jordan. I'm a transfer student. I'm transferring from OCC and I'm going for business analytics. And I'm just happy to get a degree and get this over with.
I'm Gianna. I'm a transfer student from Russell Sage College and I'm going for accounting.
Russell Sage out of Albany area?
Yeah.
Okay, great. Accounting. Okay, so 2 business schools so far. Have either of you visited the Madden School?
When I was a senior.
You were a senior. Yep. Yep. It just continues to get better and better each year. More and more technology and computers and all of that stuff has been going into that wonderful school. So you guys are in great shape. Megan, how about you? I think you're on mute.
I'm trying to manage my toddler and participate in this. But I am a nurse. I've been a nurse for 7 years, and I have a young family and just looking to expand my knowledge in nursing. I want to get my BSN and then my Psych NP.
Fabulous. Look at that.
Yeah.
A lot of commonality here. And
Yeah.
that's what you'll find in your classrooms, you know, on campus in the dining hall. The number of students on campus is small enough where you'll have the ability to, you know, recognize a face from class, be able to engage in conversation with them. Between that and the clubs and extracurricular activities that are on campus, offered via either virtually or in person, is the best way to make these type of connections. So, who's left? Marion. Okay. Mondi, do you want to go?
Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
My name is Mahdi Katab. I'm a first-year transfer student from OCC. I'm starting into the program of cybersecurity, and I'm excited to get into like the technology and just start.
Fantastic. Fantastic. Okay. Miriam, are you back with us? Okay, I guess not. Okay, so it looks like we have a little bit of time. Is there anything specific you might want to address? You know, a couple things in general I'm thinking that I've sent you is the parking pass information, and how to apply for a permit if you need it, if you're going to be on campus this semester. Oh, good. Oh, we got a new one. John. Oh, I'm sorry.
Sorry, I had to shut my camera. I was
moved
here.
on the screen. Don't confuse me. I only had 1 cup of coffee this morning, so I'm struggling a little bit. So I sent you some information on the parking pass. If you are, you know, going to be on campus during the semester, I encourage you to get one. Parking, you know, with the hybrid layout of the classes, parking is not really an issue. I have not found the few times that I've been on campus have been an issue, but it's you still absolutely need a parking pass. What else? Your photo ID? Oh, okay. It was nice chatting with you all. We'll see you back.
Amazing. Okay, wonderful. Looks like most of our folks are back with us. So I hope that was helpful. I apologize if you weren't able to get through everyone in your group, but I hope that you were able to meet some of your future classmates and hopefully friendly faces that you will see on campus this spring. So we have our next guests with us. So Carrie and Dixie, I think Dixie's here, right? There she is. Wonderful. Awesome. So I will turn it back over to Karen to introduce our final presenters for the morning.
Yes, hi. I hope you enjoyed that little session and got to know everybody. In my group, there were a number of nursing students, so it was just wonderful already to be able to make that connection and develop that relationship. So our final presenters of the day is Dr. Dixie Beckley and one of our librarians, Carrie. Good morning, Dixie.
Good morning. All right, I'm going to share my screen. I think I have it queued up here. I want this one. I have about 1 million tabs open, so bear with me. Come on, from the beginning. There we go. All right, so this is my slide to make sure that the PowerPoint's going to work. So I am Dixie Blackley. I wear 2 hats. I'm Associate Dean of the College of Arts and Sciences. I am also Professor of Economics. I am working towards, I'm very close to the end of my 4th decade at the college. So as they say, I know a thing or two because I've seen a thing or two. I've seen a lot of change in higher ed over those 4 decades, all the way from no one had a personal computer. We had a mainframe, we had punch cards, to what we see now, the way we're gathering now. So I have had to change my, adapt my skill set as I've gone along. So I have been learning all these almost 40 years alongside the same way you will over your lifetime. By way of thinking about coming to Lemoyne, if you are a transfer student or if you're new to college. So a scenario a couple summers ago, I'm driving on a divided highway, 4-lane divided highway. I'm going 68 miles an hour. A motorcyclist passes me going 70 miles an hour and not wearing a helmet. So I want to know, is anybody like violating the traffic law? Am I, or am I the motorcyclist violating the traffic law? So the way to think about this is, where are we? If we're in New York State, we are both like, 65 is the speed limit and we have a helmet law. If you're in a different state, which I was, the speed limit on that road was 70 miles an hour and there was no helmet law. So neither of us were violating any traffic laws. So the idea here is that now you're at Lemoyne, get to know the lay of the land at Lemoyne. In my breakout room, someone said, "Ooh, college is expensive." That's true, but college is also an investment. I'm an economist. We talk about human capital. Human capital is the productivity that you as an individual bring to society. It's your work ethic, it's your knowledge, it's your skill set, it's all of that. So that's the investment you're making. You're making an investment in your human capital, in yourself. So the return on your college investment depends to a very large extent on what you put into it, what gets inside you that you then take out to the world. About 1% of the world's population has an opportunity to get a college degree. So you're in a very, very special and very privileged group of people. So please do make the most of it. So I have my best advice, my little top 10 things here. You are continuing college, not beginning, many of you. So you know the kinds of things. Actually, you could generate this list. If everything on this list is familiar, then you're all set. Read and follow the syllabus. Know what the registrar is and does. Know where the bursar is and does. Get to, know our campus. Offices may have different names. Offices may have different functions than what you're familiar with. Okay, in all caps, read your email. That's the official form of communication at the college. Read your email. A lot of information will be coming in electronic format. Make sure you keep track of that. Get to know our campus, our physical campus, policies, procedures, offices. I think Renata talked to you about our virtual campus and all the, sort of IT tools and locations and opportunities there. Attend every class, ready to learn, be prepared, be engaged. Again, you're making your investment. What comes into you? It's not that you're just going to sit there and, it's going to be thrown at you. You have to absorb and take command of the material. There will be differences from your previous experience, but also within your experience at Lemoyne. Teaching styles, expectations, preparation methods, assignment types, what level and type of course you're taking. Renata would have talked to you about our learning management system, about Canvas. You may have come from a school that used Blackboard or Moodle or one of the others. So get to know that. Get to know your professors. We write letters of recommendation. In my breakout room, somebody wanted to go to law school. Well, you know what? You're going to need letters of recommendation in order to go to law school. If I don't know you very well, what am I going to say? Tell me about who you are, what your aspirations are. Let me serve as an advisor, even if I'm not your official advisor of record. We all like to give advice. Gather those perspectives, that second, third, fourth opinion. Establish those relationships. We can be very, very helpful. Research opportunities, knowing of internship opportunities, advisement, and we know each other. So if I don't know, I'm like, go talk to Carrie, go talk to Kelly, go talk to Karen. We know, if I don't know the answer, I might know someone who would know the answer. Evaluate and reevaluate your study habits and skills. Recognize that you always have something to do. You always have something to do. You can do more reading. You can work on revising a paper. You can work on drafting. You can work on a couple of homework problems. You can work on a couple of practice quizzes. You always have something to do. Use your practice as a signal. I can't tell you how many times a student has come to me and said, I thought I knew the material. And then, well, where did you get that impression? Because you did not do very well on the exam we just had. So take that practice as a signal. If things don't seem to be going very well, do something about it. Be proactive. Work on fixing it. My refrigerator goes out. I'm not going to say, well, that didn't work. I'm going to see about fixing my refrigerator, right? Or making repairs around my house to get the results that I want. To get the results that you want, you have to take some action. And one of the very first things you do is go talk to the professor. It's my course. I planned it. It's my materials. I write the exams. I write the assignments. I know where I want you to go. Talk to me, but certainly go use all the other resources, all the fabulous resources that are available on campus, the QRC, the Student Success Center, and the list goes on, the library. Do not rely on memorization as your only tool, right? It's not about fluency. It's about command of the material. It's about command of the material. What applies and how in new situations. I don't want you just spitting back the same old thing, right? Or be able to repeat some text, paragraph from the textbook. What I want you to be able to do is read an article in the Wall Street Journal and be able to interpret that. Listen to the news and what's going on in the economy and know what that means and what it might mean for the future, right? So you want command, not just fluency. Plan ahead, time management, right? You hear the mantra of you have to manage your time effectively. But by the same token, if you're putting in time and not getting the results that you want, then something has to change. Don't keep doing the same thing and expecting the outcome to be different. And I implore you, right? College is expensive, monies are tight, but please do make sure you have all your required course materials. These are the tools of your trade, right? These are your course materials, that's your toolbox, right? These are the tools of your trade. Monitor your academic performance. Like I said, use that practice as a signal, especially pay close attention to that sort of low stakes feedback. I put little quizzes in my Canvas course but if you do those quizzes, you go, ooh, I'm not getting this material. Maybe I better go find out, what I'm doing wrong and go back and review before it's on a test. Because mine is this sort of low stakes, higher stakes exam kind of thing. I lay the path out, so follow the path with me. Take advantage of all the resources. Don't panic, but be proactive. What else? Oh, connect with things early. Career advising, pre-law committee, health professions advisory committee, all of that. Connect early. Career advising, you're like, well, I'm not ready to get a job, but we'll go find out. How do you do it? Start working on your resume or your CV. Go have some practice interviews. Lay out that plan so it's not like, oh, I have so much to do. I'm a senior. So plan ahead. Go, check out the internship fair so that like that looks like a good opportunity. I'm not ready for it now, but here's what I need to do to be ready for it and to be a strong candidate. and get involved in campus life, especially commuters, right? You're part of the Lemoyne community, so be a part of the Lemoyne community. Clubs, activities, events, lectures, performances, a lot of that's virtual, but that makes it maybe in some cases a little easier to join because it doesn't involve the, sort of the transportation, the commute back to campus. But even so, get involved, get to know your peers, get to know your faculty. I attend those things too. So if we're in person and there's intermission, come talk to me. Tell me what I didn't get about that play. Focus on your learning. Try not to focus on your grades so much. Focus on your learning. If you focus on your learning, your grades take care of themselves. It's not your transcript might get you the interview, but your transcript will not get you the job. Your transcript might get you into graduate school, but unless you have the intellectual oomph, you're not going to make it through graduate school. So if you have an A on your transcript, that better mean something. That had better mean something. I love this book, Make It Stick, The Science of Successful Learning. And apologies to the librarian here, Carrie, that I don't have the page number cited, but I loaned my book out and now I can't get it back. Remember that the most successful students are those who take charge of their own learning and follow a simple but disciplined strategy. Your intellectual abilities lie to a large degree within your own control. I think that's a very important sentence. It's on you. Lie within your own control. Knowing that this is so makes the difficulties worth tackling. When I picked up my daughter, both my daughters have graduated from college, but one time I went to pick her up after finals, and there was a sign on campus that said, I never said it would be easy, but I did say it would be worth it, right? Not easy, but worth it. So what are the takeaways here? Covey, right? And the 7 habits of highly successful people begin with the end in mind. That's that longer term goal and charting that path towards that longer term goal. Build your knowledge base, develop your skill set. You're after deep, enduring learning, not just memorization, cramming, sort of superficial learning that's in one ear and out the other. Address your weaknesses. If you're not a good at public speaking now, we'll start working on it in this very safe environment, not in the workplace where it's like, you're not getting the promotion. Okay, enhance your strengths, address your weaknesses. There is no substitute. Hear me, there is no substitute for your own hard work. All right, but it doesn't have to be all school all the time. Number 7 of Covey's habits, sharpen the saw. Find that balance between your academic life and your non-academic life. Take care of yourself. You'll be your best self in the classroom if you take care of your whole self, right? If you take care of your whole self. So take it away, Carrie, unless anybody, well, let Carrie go and then you could maybe ask either or both of us some questions, but I do thank you for your attention and I welcome you to Lemoyne.
Greetings, everybody. I'm Carrie, and I'm one of the librarians here at Lemoyne. And I'm gonna give you some highlights of the library really quick. Hopefully you can all see my screen right now. Change to present. If you have any questions, you probably will have questions. I might go through this a little faster than you want because I'm conscious of your time right now. So please let me know if you have any questions as we're going along. Lots of students are interested in the library hours. So here are the library hours, and they're also always available on our webpage. So if you're wondering what's the library hours today, you can always click on there and see what the hours are like. But you will notice that we're typically open till 2 a.m. And we typically open at 9 a.m. 8 a.m. during the week and 9 a.m. on the weekends. Everybody sleeps a little later on the weekends. In terms of the library physically, you can still go into the library is open. You have to swipe your card to get in because of the pandemic happening right now. And once you enter, there's study rooms, which are, I will say,
probably, if there's one thing you hear me say today, hear this. The study rooms are incredibly, amazingly popular. And if you think at all that you want to use a study room in the next, the beginning of the semester, go online to the library website right now, today, and reserve your study room. You'll actually be at a bit of an advantage because I think other students haven't quite wrapped their minds around getting back on campus yet. So you could get a leg up on that. But they were booked constantly during the fall semester. There was never a study room that was not booked. And we actually added a few spaces in the library to be bookable because of that. So there's group study rooms where you can only meet with, a few people at this point. I think 3 is the max. There's individual study rooms, and those were probably the most needed and wanted during the semester. So if you have any questions about that, I'll put my contact information up at the end, and you can email me and I can help you book a study room right now. There's also plenty of space on the first and second floor for individuals. There's a picture on the screen. You can see that's our first floor of the library. So there is lots of space where you can be 6 feet away from people. I will remind you that we do still require masks to be worn in the library. So you do need to wear a mask while you're in there, but there's lots of space where you can spread out. There's a computer cluster, which is very popular on the back of the first floor of the library, and you can print there, which is probably one of the #1 uses of the library is to print. You can print in that computer cluster. And the other thing I wanted to mention about our space is that you can talk in a regular voice on the first floor of the library. And the second floor, we try to enforce it as more of a quiet zone. So if you're looking for quiet, go up and go towards the edges. Actually, that's probably the quietest part of the library that we have. Oops, sorry. You either you have this or you will be getting this at some point, but this is your Lemoyne ID card, and this is what allows you to swipe into the library at this time. It allows you to check out physical items, and it also gives you access. The number on the back of this card is what gives you access from off campus. So even if you are not coming on campus at all this semester, you would still need the number from this card to log in to use any of our resources. And so if you find yourself in a situation, and many people did, where you haven't picked up your physical card and you need to use the library, you can just contact a librarian. We can look up your number for you and help you through that. So that should work out. So we have, wow, there's a lot of resources on this screen. I think the one that I really want to point out to you right now, maybe 2 of them, we have textbooks. Right? So we actually make a very good effort to have every 100 and 200 level textbook for any course that you take at Lemoyne. And then if you have textbooks beyond that we don't have covered, just reach out to a librarian and we will get a copy of that textbook. Most of these textbooks at the moment are in print form, and that's simply because we can't get e-copies of many of them. So that is one limitation. If you're not coming to campus, we might have some that are in ebook format, but many of them are in print. I will also add here that you can scan that textbook, right? So you can check that textbook out, use it for 2 hours in the library, and there's a scanner right next to the desk, take it there, and you can scan what you need to read from that book. That is okay. So if you're thinking 2 hours in the library is not enough for me, that's okay. You can scan it and take it with you and use it later. The other thing I would highlight here is we have a system because of the pandemic right now, paging and pickup. So if you see a book that you want, you can actually click request, and what will happen is a library staff member will get that book for you, bring it to the desk, and you just have to come in and grab the book from the desk. I suppose one other thing I should highlight in terms of the fact that we might have folks here who are not coming to campus is that we have a huge collection of ebooks that are totally accessible from off campus, very popular right now. And the majority of the resources that we have in our subject areas, so articles, databases, those are all available from off campus in e-format as well. So don't be worried if that's your situation. This is probably different, maybe not different if you're coming from another college library, but from high school for sure. This we have subject librarians. So my area is the sciences. We can all answer questions in any area, but if you had a particular question in the sciences, then I would be the librarian that you would want to reach out to. And you can see based on your major who might be your librarian in your major. We have a lot of ways that you can ask questions, so please don't be shy. And I think that's the real takeaway here is don't be scared of the don't be scared of the library, don't be scared of the librarians. Our job on campus literally is to answer your questions and help you find the answer, right? So help you with research, help you with those assignments. That's our job on campus. And you can ask us, we have chat, we have text, we have email, we have appointments that you can make with us. So any of those will work. Morning for folks in that group. And of course, the same thing, you have to have your campus clear green badge, just like you. I mentioned everything else on that screen. Oh, sorry. And that's it. So that was fast. Does anyone have questions about anything that I mentioned there? All right. Well, it's nice to meet all of you virtually, and we look forward to answering any of your questions in the library. We'd love to hear from you.
Thank you,
I
ladies.
don't have a question. I don't have a question, but I want to make a comment. Our library is awesome, right? It is awesome. It is underutilized though. It's a great place to be, great service, great collection of, I mean, you name it, they have it. If they don't have it, they can get it. So there's no reason not to really take advantage of that tremendous resource.
Thank you, Dixie. Carrie also did mention in her last screen the Campus Clear app, which is the app that we'll use this semester for COVID recording. So you've all should have received an email on it, how to access it, how to download it. If you have not, please don't do so as soon as possible, because you will need that before you step foot on campus. Dixie's showing us a nice picture of it. Okay, so if anybody has any issues, please go back and look at your email. And then if there's further issues, please let me know. But that is crucial that you have that application on your phone.
What is it called?
It's called Campus Clear. Okay, thanks, Louise. Okay, so we did pretty good. We only went, well, actually we haven't, it's 11:29. We are right on time. It's great. So this concludes today's session. I want to give a couple minutes if anyone has any questions that they want to ask, please feel free. We've got all our folks still online. Yep. Yeah.
And so, Karen, can I put a plug in really quick? I just put in the chat. For those of you that are either first year students, whether you transferred in and you're still a first year, you're a first time student this spring, or a sophomore this spring, highly encourage you to check out the Manresa program. Registration is still available to sign up to participate in that through the deadline is the 29th. So it's an awesome program, great way to connect with others on campus. Obviously it's virtual this semester, but I encourage you, check it out on the website, information about the program. When you're on that web page, there are also links to the registration form. And again, first year and sophomore, it's happening this spring. If you're gonna be a junior or senior in the fall, sessions for Manresa for those levels are happening in the fall semester, and you'll see more information come out about those. But information's on the website. Highly encourage you to check it out. you could possibly have great mentors like me or other ones that are that are participating today that also mentor in that program. So you would have both a faculty and an administrator as a mentor with your group of probably, you know, between 8 to 12 other students that are, you know, if you're a first year, would also be first year or sophomore. So check it out. Highly encourage you to consider participating.
Thank you, Kathy. I'll include some information on the Men Racer program in my follow-up email to you. Next Saturday, you will hear more in detail about the Men Racer program from the Director of Career Advising and Development. So you'll get a clearer picture on what it is and be able to ask questions of her. But I'll give you a little heads up in my follow-up message to you with some information on that. So I just want to thank all of my presenters today for your time, especially on a snowy Saturday. I am grateful and yeah, Dixie.
I would just, oh no, Mary took care of it. There was a question about pre-arrival COVID testing, but Mary put a note in the chat about that.
Yeah, so if you click on that link, there is a pre-arrival and arrival testing chart. So it takes you through step by step. If you need a test, what that all looks like. So yes, if you click on that, and then the link is right at the top. And the COVID office should also be following up with information too. I know that they were working, some of our graduate degree programs actually started classes earlier, so they've been catching up on getting those students kept in the loop, but you'll be getting a bunch more detailed information to that Lemoyne email, so make sure you're checking that.
Yeah, there'll be pre-arrival testing and surveillance testing throughout the semester. So make sure that you check those resources so that you don't end up like, uh-oh, I didn't do what I was supposed to do and now I can't go to class. All right, so access to campus depends upon following all of those protocols. So be sure you pay very close attention to that. Also, if you're not yet connected with Lemoyne's various social media outlets, please do that too, because some of that information comes out through that venue in addition to email and the website. And so there'll be a number of access points. So, you know, sort of pick your favorite, but read your email.
Oh, great points. Any other?
I have a question.
Yeah.
Where do we get our student IDs? I had sent in a picture, but I don't know, does it get sent to us? Do we have to pick it up?
So you sent it, I'm sorry, you sent in your picture already?
Yeah.
Yeah. Will you be on campus at all during the semester?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you'll be able to go the beginning February 8th, the Office of Campus Life and Leadership will be open. So you'll be able, when you're on campus, to go up there and physically pick up your ID. So it's much quicker if you submit the photo per the instructions we sent you. So all you have to do is run in and between the hours of 8:30 and 4:30. So all you have to do is run in and just pick up your ID.
And if you aren't going to be on campus too, or if you are taking classes remotely, then I imagine that Campus Life will be sending it to you as well, but they'll be on our session next weekend. And we'll be able to go over all of those procedures.
I had a question as well, going back to the COVID thing. Is the test still required for people that have already had COVID? Because I already had COVID in like Thanksgiving time. And like, do I still have to go get a test even though I already like had it?
Yeah, so if you go back and look at that chart, it tells you exactly if you've tested positive COVID. So I'm just reading right from it. It says if you tested positive in the 90 days prior to arrival, you're exempt from the pre-arrival and arrival testing. So if you just go back to that link and then click on that, it will give you all the information that you'll need.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah, because Jonathan, there's some issue too with like, I've had COVID or I got the vaccine, or we're not gonna be able to keep track of a lot of that and sort everybody into their separate group. So read that protocol, and it may be that everybody has to participate just so we get everybody that we need in terms of that surveillance testing and keeping everyone safe, keeping the campus open and healthy. So
okay, all right,
yeah,
thanks.
so rely on that site. And if your question is not answered there, There's also a generic email for the COVID office, coronavirus@lemoyne.edu, I think it is. If you have a question that's not answered there, use that email. And that's the venue for those kinds of questions.
Awesome. Thank you.
And if we do have symptoms or end up with COVID or something throughout the semester, obviously we wouldn't be able to come on campus for class. Is there, are classes like streaming or something for kids who can't be there due to COVID or other illnesses?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. So all the professors, and Dixie can speak to this too, are working with students. So everything is also done through Zoom. So if you are symptomatic, anything like that, you are able to work with your professor and make sure that you are viewing the Zoom stream. And then you'll also be able to, so you'll be able to keep up with everything.
But I should add that because of confidentiality, that the COVID office would know that you tested positive for COVID, but your professors would not. Your professors will get a note that says, Mary, is excused from class until further notice. We don't know why. It could be that Mary's grandmother passed away and she has to go to a funeral, or it could be that Mary's in for a tonsillectomy, or it may be that she has COVID. We don't know why Mary's not in class. So it's up to you. If you test positive, you're like, okay, now I'm in isolation. You need to let your professors know that you're going to need the Zoom link and that kind of thing, and that you're not going to be in class. So don't assume that the whole world is going to know that you have COVID because of confidentiality. That information cannot be shared with your faculty. So it's on you to say, here's sort of self-advocacy. If you're not going to be in class, you got to let, the college is going to take care of you in terms of isolation, make sure you have your resources and, you have a safe place to be. But it's on you to let your professors know what your situation is and what your needs are. But the college cannot communicate that information out.
Some great questions. Okay. So again, thank you for taking the morning with us. I hope that we are able to bring to light some of the great resources that Lemoyne has available for you. I look forward to seeing you next Saturday, same time, same place. Next week, we'll hear from our Office of Inclusive Excellence and Global Education. We'll hear from Career Advising and Development and a little bit more on the MAN-RACA program. We'll hear from Campus Life and Leadership, and we'll conclude with our Associate Provost for Student Development. I'm excited also to announce that our Provost, Father Joe Marina, will be on board first in the morning to welcome you as well. It's just another sign of the great leadership that we have here on campus. So thank you all for your time. I'll be reaching out to you this week. Please don't hesitate if you have any questions between now and next Saturday. I hope everybody has a great day. Go build a snowman and have a great day. Bye, everybody. Thank you.
Bye. Thanks, everybody.
Have a good one.
Thank you.